Today I'm going to be taking you along how I pack our trailer on a travel day. We have these nice little cabinets in the back that Brandon actually added a shelf to so we could keep all of the animal food up there and out of the way. So I just have to take those down so they don't slide around during travel. So get all that done, close those up, and then I move over to cleaning the toilet. We use this stuff that everybody recommends. Supposedly other cleaners are bad for your tanks and whatnot. So if you want to look that up, it's Scrub It something. I will link it in the description below. So anyways, get that done, move on to the sink, clean that out, and then we'll move over to the shower where I take down all of our shampoos, conditioners, soaps, and everything, put it in the sink so that we don't have any issues. And if it leaks in the sink, so it works out great. Take out the garbage, and then when we move over to the shower again, I pick up our cat food, and since he eats wet, it gets really gross if it gets warm, so I put it in the fridge. Moving out to the main area here, I pick up all of the rugs, shake them out just a little bit, not too much, because as I pick them up, I'm actually going to take them outside, and Brandon vacuums them outside and does kind of like a really deep clean on them. So I will go ahead and take those out for him to take care of while I finish up the inside. Now I kind of take my time and move over to the dinette area where I will just clean up, wipe everything down. It takes me forever to get the Clorox wipes out every time. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but I can never get them out. Do you take them from the center or from the outside? That's a question. Okay, so moving on. Our dog doesn't like to eat on travel days. She senses that it's coming, so we give her a little dog biscuit before travel and pour the rest away. That is our ottoman / laundry basket, and it's very full, so I couldn't lift it up there by myself. So Brennan helps me lift that up, and we go ahead and start vacuuming. Lots of vacuuming. More vacuuming. Just lots of vacuuming. That was probably takes up the most time for me. Move over to the kitchen side and just get everything cleaned up. And we have these caramel and vanilla pumps that you just saw. They leak every time, so I've just started putting a plastic bag over the nozzle and putting them in the sink. We are coffee snobs. We have to have our Jura. Make our golden eagles every morning. It's delicious. If you haven't had it, go to Dutch Bros, give it a try. You will not regret it. We have to empty out all of the water in our coffee machine, no matter how slow or fast we're going to be going, just because it gets everywhere. So we empty that out to get it prepared. That is heavy enough we don't have it stuck down to the counter and it doesn't move. So that's one good thing, that we're able to just leave that out. So everything in the kitchen that goes on the countertop, usually when we're stationary, goes into the sinks so that I do not have to worry about coming into broken things and spilled stuff. So in this next section, you're going to find out something really silly about me. I hate the sound of doors opening and closing in the RV. And so whenever we're stationary, I actually don't ever latch them completely. They just kind of rest. So I go around and have to shut them all. And I have to bring the hamper down, which getting it down is a lot easier than getting it up. I don't know why, it just is for me. So I'm preparing to actually bring in the slide, and so we have to push everything as far as we can to the wall and flip up the comforters. But now this kid, Mr. Atlas, to keep him safe while I'm preparing the slide, I get his travel harness on and his collar with his tags, and we actually just to keep him safe, like I said, we get him ready for travel so he can kind of start to acclimate a little bit. And while I'm preparing the slide section, I actually lock him in the bathroom with his litter box so that I know that he's contained and completely safe. He does fine, he just lays down in there, and so it's just for me, for peace of mind, because we did have one escape episode, which was not good. So now I take the opportunity to get on our thermostat and turn it off. Otherwise, our solar will continue to run it if we forget. So that is a key step for us. Our TV kind of swings out. It's on a swivel mount, so we always have to push it back and then also take the fan and put it on the bed. We have to take down our table on travel days so that we can access the bathroom a little bit easier. Otherwise, it's really hard to fit in between the counter and the table. So we take it down so that we can go to the bathroom. And now I always check the slide with the fly swatter. Without a doubt, I always find something. This is good if you have toddlers, animals, especially cats with toys. And yes, what I'm about to pull out is a toy. It's a straw, and our cat loves straws. Now it's time to bring in the slide, which is probably the saddest part of the entire trip. Go watch our video. We did upgrade to a room slide system, which has been fantastic. Okay, so Brandon's got the truck running, and this is when Gigi gets to be put inside. She does have a travel harness, and so I just slip her in and clip her in. She's on my side of the back cap so that I can kind of help her if there's anything that she needs during travel days. So now I'm gonna help Brandon back up to hook on. He watches in the cameras, which is pretty cool. So we can do hand signals through the cameras, and I do a weird twirly motion so that he knows when to keep coming back, and then I can give him a thumbs up if we're good, or I just give him a backwards motion with my thumb if he needs to back up or forward, and he just watches the cameras to see if we have any issues. So you'll see I'll tell him to come back with my twirly motion, stop, come back a little bit, and I'll do a little, you can't see it in the video, but I will show him like inches, like how close or far he needs to go. We always do a little tug test to make sure that we're latched on, and then Brandon will jump out and both of us will take a side and get the equalizer put together so that we each have our own things to make sure that we're safe on the road. One of my favorite things about this truck is when Brandon puts in the cord to read the brake light systems and trailer brake stuff. The truck actually like lights up, so it's like recognizing that there's a trailer attached. I really like that. All right, so just continuing to bring up the jack, something I always do. It's very psychological, but also a very important thing to keep in mind. When you're lifting up the jack, you may have some rolling or just like a little bit of a slide forward. We're connected to the truck, so we're okay, but I always am prepared to jump out of the way just in case. Don't try and stop it, just jump out of the way. I go ahead and pick up the block that we use for our front jack and put it away. As Brandon just kind of goes around and just double checks things, make sure all the jacks are up, make sure we're tight, and also put away any extra items we must have forgotten, which was the lead this time. Not a bad one to forget. You just saw that I had a bottle that I actually put here. That's bug spray. I will go around and spray the trailer after every trip, just because we don't want to be transporting bugs that don't belong in other oases, especially when you're crossing state lines. Personal preference, but that's just something we do. I actually went inside to grab Mr. Fluffy, Mr. Atlas. He also has a travel harness on that he will be clipped into in the truck. We just said goodbye to some friends, and I'm just going to finish up the bug spray for now. And this is pretty much the last step for me when we are on our way to our next destination.